Rains are upon us. It's good news for many, especially farmers and those in arid and semi-arid environments. The news of rains is, however, not so good for people living in floodplains and flood-prone areas in cities, towns and villages across Nigeria. Sad as the devastation is, all hope is not lost. There is still a window of action to save your property, or most important, your life, from flood impacts. Managing floods is the focus of this episode of the program. I'm Onengie Fineface, and this is Environment Matters. There is a community in Kogi State straddling the River Niger, which it depends on for sustenance, a relationship that has lasted for decades. That relationship has, however, gone sour in recent years because the river now overflows its banks to threaten the very existence of the community. We'll begin this episode of Environment Matters by taking you on a journey to Ibaji, an agrarian community that is gradually losing its existence to the River Niger.
Ibaji used to be a district, and fortunately, some years ago, Abuja was created as a local government area, and the former district that had become a local government area now has 3 districts. The 3 districts also to get put together have 10 political wards. In the districts and the wards all put together called Ibaji, we have about 68 communities. Things have changed, not for better this time, but for worse, because the River Niger is coming beyond the level that it used to come. It's coming now in such a large volume that the whole place is flooded. And when it is flooded, it comes with all the devastation.
My rule and my cutlass, yeah. I know where you.
Okay, stop, go to his front, tell him to me.
The farming has been helping me, in short, since I grew up. I'm in this farm, I get married, get 6 issue. I still been in the farm because I know what he has help me. By the time we harvest all this crop in August, we look at the difficulty to take it to market. That is Ida. It's our popular market where you can see anybody to buy. But if water flood come well, they carry engine boat. They follow there's a big river here. From Ida, they enter it and corner inside here. It will be better for it. They will load yam, load corn, whatever they want to buy, they will buy, full the engine and go back to Ida.
Before, from Ibaji to Ida, it's up to 20 minutes, you don't reach Ida. But now, up to 2 hours, you can't reach at Ida. Especially when rain falls like this, everywhere will be water, no way.
This particular local government needs government aids. The road is bad. We started since morning by 10 a.m. and we've not even gotten to our destination yet. We're still on the road.
As at now, you cannot travel from Ida to even Ibaji to Onyedega, the headquarters of Ibaji local government, because of all these ponds, because the road has been badly damaged as a result of flood. So the road is bad. We are cut away from other parts of the country, even from the other parts of the state. Ibaji is being cut away. And so there's nothing we can do now if you want to move out from Ibaji, except you pass through River Niger. And then if you are going to other parts of Ibaji, those that are in hinterland, they are finding it extremely difficult. How they transport their farm produce to nearby markets is a problem. Even how to get farm inputs like fertilizer, which is bulky, has become a problem. They cannot go anywhere. Wherever they reach and they cannot move any longer, they drop them. And people will come and carry them either by head or by motorcycle.
From Odogu to Unale, from Unale to Ijogono, from Ijogono to Onyedega, we did some little diversion to make sure our people get to the headquarters of Ibaji local government. So that is the little we were able to do.
There can be a solution. One way is dredging of the River Niger. And when we say dredging, we mean making the river deeper, not just throwing sand on the bank of the river. We are proposing, we are advising, we are pleading with the federal government to do some dams in the country, so that it's not every drop of water that forms the flood that will come and overflow the Ibaji lines.
Ejule na wale yo. Ejule.
Good morning, Provost. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
The NT family, you're welcome.
Yes, good to see you.
Thank you so much. The flood water passed through forest, passed through the place we can call refuse dump site, where different type of waste, dangerous waste, waste that are carcinogenic, waste that are hazardous, waste that are industrial, that are pathogenic, they are all inside this forest, and the flood water carry them. They take them to the communities, and the communities may fetch this water for consumption. There can be outbreak of common communicable diseases, cholera. Are you following me now? So the communities should be educated. There should be intensive and extensive health education by the professionals, environmental health officers, on particularly on how the method of purification of water. Water should be purified. Water should be treated before consumption.
You will know that it got to a point that the road stopped. You understand? So it's not as if the state government is not doing, but you just discover that, it cannot just be done in a day. It is a project that is still ongoing. And we are trying to see how the road can be completed to Ibaji. Because we know that when you talk of rice in the state, honestly, rice coming from Ibaji, if well funded, I would say it authoritatively that it can feed the entire state.
Macho inje aha ubo inje jo amada cho inje o wa be bajo bo wa me bo inje jo bo wa be bajo me bo inje jo bo inje jo ubo inje jo amada cho inje le
When the flood has come, we can't get anything to buy in this area because we are all farmers. When you buy yam, there is something to make soup. We can't get it because of the distance from here to Ida, and the road is not good. There's no any other way you can get to Ida. That is where we suffer a lot. For that 2 months, the flood will stay before I go back. We suffer a lot. There is nobody will come this side. We will remain until the flood go before it started coming out.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, birthing climate crisis and crying faces.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions.
Examining challenges and opportunities.
Giving human face to the science, facts, faiths, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
The rains are yet to peak. As expected, Ibaji and many other communities contiguous to the River Niger and River Benue are already shivering in the fear of what could be another year of sorrow and tears. The fear of floods is not felt only in rural communities. Flash floods also wreak havoc across cities in Nigeria. Cries and pains of devastation there from the heart of the Federal Capital Territory. We cannot begin to imagine what the situation has been or would be for people living on the fringes of the FCT who are facing similar challenges. We now join the Director General of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NESA, Engineer Clement Nze, to get an update of the flood outlook for this year and the situation of water flows in rivers Niger and Benue.
At now, the two rivers are within their normal levels. And we have been monitoring whatever is happening right from the sources of these two rivers, rivers Niger and Benue. For River Niger is from the Footazolan Highlands in Guinea Conakry, and the River Benue is from Cameroon. And we have our monitoring stations within Nigerian catchment and also under the collaboration in the Niger Basin Authority. We exchange information among member countries, especially Nigeria, being at the receiving end, being downstream of all the other 8 countries. We are up to most affected adversely. So we are in touch with relevant authorities to monitor the propagation of flood whenever it begins. Places like River State, Port Harcourt in particular, Lagos, Kano, even Aba in Abia State, quite a lot of them, Kaduna, the population is high, and at times the environment is compromised. People building very close to the river banks and making their livelihood there. So these people should be, be consigned. States that are contiguous to rivers Niger and Benue. For River Benue, we have Adamawa, Taraba, and of course Benue State. For River Niger, you have Kebbi, Niger, Kwara. Then coming down to Lokoja, or that's Kogi State, and then Edo later, Anambra, Bayelsa eventually, and River State, yes. So they should be prepared. They should be on the lookout.
Curious about how government policies on healthcare are faring? Do you enjoy learning about wellness concept and the many options available? Then watch Health Options on the NTA.
Mr. President has led by example. Take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Somebody can say, hey, I woke up this morning, I felt some tingling in my hand, some weakness, my face was, I couldn't speak well. That's a warning stroke, and it shouldn't be ignored.
The carrots contains carotene. Tomatoes is a colored plant. It has carotene. Pepper has carotene.
50% of our diet should be green vegetables and fruits.
Join leading experts on both orthodox and alternative medicine for all the enlightenment you need for a healthier you.
Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah.
It appears now, and this has been the case in previous years, that not much can be done to prevent floods from occurring now that the rains are here already. But surely there are things people can do to manage the floods. Vice Marshal Akugbe Yamu is an astute scholar and prolific writer on flood management in Nigeria. He is also the president, Association of Environmental Protection and Climate Change Experts. He joins me to discuss the best options for managing floods in the country. It's a pleasure to have you join us on Environment Matters.
Thank you very much for the great job you are doing. Honestly, I'm always astonished by your commitment.
Thank you. Well, the kudos goes to the Nigerian Television Authority, of course, the NTA.
And NTA too. They are taking the front line now on environment.
Thanks. That is a great one coming from you, sir. To start with, what comes to your mind when you hear or see communities inundated by perennial flooding year in, year out?
Inefficiency, inactivity, and lack of seriousness. That's where to start from. You see, you can never hold water.
Of course.
It's the most potent energy in the world. It goes down, it takes down everything on its way. Then this year we saw we saw Pakistan coming, we saw South Africa, we saw all of them coming. That was just the circle. That had become the circle every year established. Now, there was a committee that was set up on flooding. The recommendation was set up National Council on Flooding. National Council for what? You have NEMA, National Emergency Management Agency. The greatest mistake that we did before, we move into a ministry. No, you don't move a response agency under another bureaucracy.
And that has been corrected now.
That has been corrected. I was so happy the day I had it. Take, for example, FEMA. When there was flooding in California, the only 3 people were there, or 3 entities. The President of the United States of America, the management of FEMA, and American legislators. As the President was making as the FEMA lady was talking, the President was making pronouncements on the difficulties and peculiarities of everybody, and the American Congress were giving back to it immediately. That's what we need here. NEMA should be freed of all encumbrances to work. And again to NISA. NISA has to tell us the movement of water. The movement of water, that's what the war runs on now. What the war runs on.
Well, NISA does that in the flood outlook. It looks not only at flood from rains, but the hydrological year, when water moves in from the upper Niger through Niamey to Kebbi, down to, of course, other parts of the country in Nigeria, yeah. But I've also heard the NESA DG complain that when this information is released to the affected local government, the states, very little or nothing is done. So how do we get out of this situation where the agency in charge of disaster risk information releases information, but those who take responsibility to act do nothing? And then people are cast into this spell of suffering on a yearly basis.
See, XWell, NISA, NIMET, NEMA, they all work together. NISA is the originator agency that tell you the movement of water.
Yes.
They tell you this is the movement of water and this is the way it should go. Now, we have a presidential committee on flooding. What are they doing? Before NEMA, resource NEMA, resource NISA, NIMET. You see, it is not, giving an annual flood outlook has become so basic, so routine, that it goes beyond that. Because the damage of flooding every year has become so much. It's increasing every year, it's getting more massive. So NISA needs to be highly resourced in funding, in human resources and everything, so that they will have representative in almost all the areas that they identify at flashpoints.
Okay.
Flashpoint. See, there are apps now that will tell you the movement of anything in the world.
Yeah, NESA is developing that. I think they have an app like that as well.
You know, I mentioned it a long time ago. I'm sure maybe they've taken the lesson from there. There's nothing that is done on the physical anymore. Everything is technological. When I was in NEMA as the director search and rescue and acted as the DG, I traversed the whole of that area, Ibaji to Ida to what was it? The whole of that water. I was on the boat. We need super dams for a start, at least 4 to be located in Fufure, where they've already projected that one. That will be 2.5 times the size of Lago Dam. We need one in Numa, where River Gongola and the River Benue they meet. They will need one between Ogbaru and Ibaji.
Yes.
We need one there.
Thank you very much, Vice Marshal Akugbe Yamu, also the President, Association of Environmental Protection and Climate Change Experts. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me on environment matters.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
And with that, we call it a wrap on this episode of the program. Remember to take action now if you live in floodplains, even if it means relocating to safe grounds to avoid getting overwhelmed by the floods. I'm Onengiye Fineface. Bye for now.